Hey, my name is Alec Mederos. I'm an engineer with the Petaluma City Fire Department. I'm here today to talk about our brand new Enforcer Type 1 engine. We had Pierce and Golden State Fire Apparatus build this rig specifically for us in the way that we'd like to meet some of the unique features of our jurisdiction and specifically the district in which this engine can operate. Two unique features about Petaluma is Petaluma City Fire is one of the oldest fire departments on the West Coast, and our city, especially the downtown, is a survivor of the 1906 and 1989 earthquakes. That being said, a lot of our unreinforced masonry buildings did not fall, and the streets are narrow, built for horse and buggy, and now we're driving these large fire apparatus down those roadways. So we wanted something that was going to be enough size to get the job done, but also something that would be quick and efficient to get around town in those tight areas to better serve those residents. We'll kind of do a quick walk around of this rig, a couple of its features. We elected to go with a genuine white gold for all of our gold leaf. We have a keyless entry pad that is on both sides of the apparatus, as well as the IRT system, which is idle reduction technology. What that does is allows this rig to be somewhat of a hybrid. When it meets certain parameters, it can actually shut down the diesel engine while on scene and still operate things like our scene lights, our radios, air conditioning, and everything that way. We also went with the TAC 4 suspension. A lot of things that you're gonna see on this rig were specifically designed with the user in mind. Getting down some of our adobe streets and cobblestone streets are extremely rough. We wanted something that was going to be able to stand the test of time. This is the engineer's gear compartment. It's only accessible from the outside. We wanted to try to keep the cab as clean as possible to keep any contaminants from the fire ground outside of the cab area. We have removable plates that we had Pierce designed for us. This goes in and out of service for maintenance. We're able to swap plates out and keep true to that. These are extinguisher compartments. We had these designed with extinguisher wells built into the bottom of them to where we can just drop an extinguisher in and pull those in and out as needed, so no straps or anything like that. We also try to keep everything as low as possible, so we drop the hose beds down to give the shorter firefighter the ability to grab them while still having their boots on the ground. This is a 1500 GPM water-less pump. We configured the pump panel to kind of work for us. We went with the air primer for both the aux pump and the main pump. We used the Husky 3 system for our foam proportioning system and could give us up to 3% foam. It's also capable of pump and roll ability through our aux pump, which is a PTO over hydraulic aux pump capable of 250 GPM at 150 PSI, and simply set the pressure here with the readout, and regardless of engine RPM on our main engine, it will still maintain that pressure at the nozzle. We utilize the pump boss control module for this single stage pump. We can pump in pressure or RPM mode, and we had these nice big gauges spec'd to this so you can see them from a distance away. We also spec'd a booster reel for this, these hose trays that are just free floating in the event that we high center or anything like that. We had Golden State Fire Apparatus mount a lot of our equipment. So this is the engineer's brass box, and we had them mount everything that we might need. We have exterior mounted shocks for the wheels, and we also elected to put our SCBAs in these triangle compartments. Here we have various fireground tools mounted to a pegboard that can actually come out, so we can utilize both sides of the pegboard as well as the back side of the compartment. We even mounted to the top side of this compartment and the bottom side. This locks in place if you're on uneven terrain. Another triangle compartment, but this one carries one SCBA bottle, and this is where we fill our DEF tank and our diesel tank. This is our roadway compartment. We have our extrication tools in here. We had Golden State fabricate some of these mounts for us so we can quickly and ergonomically get these tools out. Coming around the back side of the rig, we have a couple of key features. On the passenger side and driver side, we have I-zone hooks for our hoses when we're in the wildland environment, folding up and down. We also put in power hose bed covers that we can lift by just the press of a button, and they also stay in the position that they're left. We've had injuries in the past of hose bed covers coming down on firefighters during windy days, so we wanted to alleviate that problem as much as possible. This thing's also equipped with an air dump valve. It dumps the air out of the back suspension, which will drop the tailboard height down to about 6 inches. What that allows us to do is to access the hose bed while loading hose or unloading hose in a pretty safe manner. It's a really small step. That was important to us. We have various sizes of firefighters in the department. Here we have another slide-out shelf with electronic vent fan. We also have folding down steps that are actually lit, so the pathway up to the top to reach the deck gun or to load hose is lit. Ergonomics were very important to us. Instead of putting our ladders on a ladder crane and having them way up high where you had to reach for them, we elected to put them in this slide-out compartment. We have the standard Type 1 complement, as well as another roof hook and New York hook up here. In the top compartment, we have our draft hoses, 6-inch draft hoses. There's 2 of them up there, 10-foot lengths apiece, and those are sealed behind that locked hatch. Around to the passenger side, another lap door, and this is our saw and wildland compartment. A little empty right now, but this will have hose packs in it, as well as wildland tools and salvage covers, as well as a spare bottle. Some more triangle compartments here for spare bottles. This one will actually fit an extinguisher in it. This will be the captain and 3 persons air packs, as well as personal gear storage. We added these straps here so you did not have to reach as high to close the door. And this is our EMS compartment equipped with a narcotics safe. The passenger side pump panel, 1500 GPM pumper with 2 LDH discharges. Another floating compartment for our short suction hose. We have our cup for our reel line. Tools mounted and reel line rewind buttons on both sides. Another extinguisher compartment with the well built into the floor so we don't have to use any straps. In the passenger compartment, user comfort was high priority to us, so we elected to go with the Valor seats, which is kind of the highest edition seat that we can get. It has armrests and it reclines. We spend a lot of time in the rig. We want to make sure people are comfortable. Flashlights are mounted, chargers are mounted, our tick charger is mounted. We went with David Clark headsets, which are extremely comfortable. And there's hooks in here for various things. This is the captain's gear storage, only accessible from the outside. Another keyless entry pad. And then these are kind of a neat little feature. These are cameras, so while you're driving down the road, you have those on your heads-up display screen that can monitor your blind side as well as the complete backside as well. Captain's seat, same thing, Valor, except for this one's going to be air ride seat as well. And then we have the captain's charger for a flashlight. We'll have all the tablet and MDC and whatnot up top here on the dash. Coming around to the front, we added the bell. That's something that we haven't had in a long time, so we try to get back to some of the traditional roots of our agency. The light package on this, instead of doing tele lights or anything like that, we actually did these light bars on all 4 sides of the rig. So we have a big brow light up top that our clearance lights are in, as well as these halo lights are running lights, but they also double as your high-low flashers when you're going code 3 down the road. We went with bright aluminum grille, aluminum topped bumper with a swiveling discharge for our bumper line, on off up top here, and 150 feet, 1.5 inches can fit into this compartment. We went with the panoramic windshield. It's a one-piece windshield, so field of vision for the driver and the passenger is really important to us. So Pierce was able to accommodate with that. Up here in the windshield, you're gonna see this little box with the flashing lights. That actually has many different functions, but one of the key features is to alert oncoming drivers that use the Waze app that there is a code 3 vehicle approaching, and then they can get out of the way. I'd like to thank Pierce and Golden State Fire Apparatus for working with us on every single feature on this purpose-built fire apparatus to meet our needs and do it in a professional fashion. Any feature or design that we wanted has been tried and tested and put into place so we know that this rig could stand the test of time.